and welcome to our professional learning session. Before we start, we at Alabama Possible would like to thank Christina Scott, our Executive Director, for her leadership and contribution, not only at Alabama Possible, but towards education in the state of Alabama. Christina, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for the students over here and for being able to create a college-going culture in the state of Alabama. So these are our sponsors and partners. We would like to thank them. And Alabama Possible partners with Alabama Commission on Higher Education, Alabama Community College System, and Alabama State Department of Education. Housekeeping items, please keep your microphones on mute to avoid feedback while other speakers are speaking. And this webinar will be recorded and posted to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Alabama Possible. And throughout the webinar, you can chat your questions. At the end of the presentation, we have a question and answer session. So make sure any questions you have, please chat them. Now you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And these are the hashtags that we have used that you can use anytime you're posting about Alabama Goes to College campaign. Now the agenda for the day, we will start off with introductions, and then there'll be an Alabama Goes to College presentation. And there'll be 3 people presenting the different components of Alabama Goes to College. I'll be presenting, I'm Manisha Mishra from Alabama Possible, then May Whiting from Alabama Possible, and Dr. Willetta Connor from Alabama State Department of Education. Then after each component, we'll have our peer counselors share their experience in the year over the past few years, and then what they'll be doing differently this year or what they are doing this year. And we have Christy DeLuca from Smith Station High School. We have Kathy Dean from Sulligent High School and Amy Smith from Pell City High School. They'll be presenting. And after the presentation, as I'd mentioned before, we'll have a question and answer session, and Keela Lawrence from Alabama Possible will be facilitating that. And the closing remarks will be given by Keela Lawrence. So our learning objectives for this session. Our main objective for this session is to deepen the familiarity that you all have with the Alabama Goes to College campaign and its component. We have relaunched Alabama College campaign. It used to be known as Alabama College campaign till 2019, 2020. We have relaunched it as Alabama Goes to College campaign. So we will be discussing all the components. So that is one of the learning objectives. The second one is you'll gain a confidence in how to navigate the Alabama Goes to College outreach toolkit. And you'll see as we present that there is a lot of information, a lot of tools on there which you can download and share it with your students in your schools, high schools. And the third one will be to identify one of the new outreach strategies or assets you will use to increase awareness for your college access and success events. Now, Alabama Goes to College campaign. Now, we are very excited to launch the updated Alabama Goes to College campaign. And as I mentioned, it was formerly known as Alabama College campaign. This campaign is a free program and is a partnership between Alabama College Attainment Network and Alabama State Department of Education. So the Alabama College Attainment Network, it breaks down the barriers to increase college readiness, access, and completion in Alabama, particularly among low-income, first-generation college-going students and students of color. Alabama Possible serves as the backbone agency for the network, and the Alabama State Department of Education, Alabama Commission on Higher Education, and Alabama Community College Systems are the founding members. The other members are all organizations who provide college access and success services to the students. Now, Alabama Goes to College campaign seeks to increase the number of first generation and low income students who pursue post-secondary education by assisting high school seniors with the college admissions process. Towards that end, we have created easily accessible resources, and we are highlighting some of them during this presentation. So the tools that we show you now are not all the tools that are there. There are other tools on there. We have just selected a few so you can understand how to access them. So this first one is a screenshot from the registration form. And most of you on this call have already registered for the campaign. And we thank you. Thank you for completing your registration form. It helps us help you. So thank you. Next one is our Alabama Goes to College Handbook. So this will have all the information that actually is in the educator's outreach toolkit. So how you access them, why is the work that we do important, and all that information you'll find on here, how to contact us, everything will be here. Now this is a campaign timeline. This is something that one of the tools that you can, we will be sharing a Google Drive with all of you, so you'll have access to that Google Drive. And once you go there and click on this, you can download it and print it for your schools too. And the calendar has every important date that is there throughout the year for the campaign. So you can print this out and post it everywhere in your high schools. This is a fillable calendar. So what we have done is we have filled out a few of the dates that are again on the timeline and others that are important. We have filled that out, but you can download this as a Word document and fill out your dates if you have any special dates that you need your students to know. So this you can apply it to your needs directly. And like I mentioned, it's a fillable calendar. So once you download it, you can fill in your information. This is what the Google Drive looks like. So the name of the folder is Alabama Goes to College campaign folder. And then we have divided it, like we have all the tools that you will need in this general folder for Alabama Goes to College campaign. Anything that you need for Alabama College Application Week will be found here. And anything you need for Cash for College, College and Career Signing, they will all be here. Now I would like to invite May Whiting from Alabama Possible to present the next few slides.
All right, hi everyone. I'm May Whiting, the Data and Research Manager at Alabama Possible. Like Manisha was saying, in the Google Drive, there are all different kinds of resources that you can access, including flyers and graphics and documents that you can edit and customize. We just want to emphasize that for documents that are templates, meaning they are fillable or editable, please first download the document to your computer before editing. Since these are shared folders, we want everyone to be able to access the templates and then customize on their own. So just don't customize the shared files, first download the file before you start editing. So if you're looking at the screenshot here, you see you can download the file by going to File, Download, and then clicking Microsoft Word or whatever file type you're wanting to download. And then on the next slide, I'm just showing you a different way that you can download a file. If we can go to the next slide, yeah. So you can also click the down arrow in the top right corner whenever you're previewing a document in Google Drive. That way, again, you're downloading the file directly to your computer, and then you can make edits as necessary. All right, so now we'll dive into each of the three components of Alabama Goes to College, including Cash for College, Alabama College Application Week, and College and Career Decision Day. So Cash for College builds awareness around financial aid for post-secondary education. Cash for College's goal is for every graduating senior to complete their FAFSA, or the free application for federal student aid. And we want them to complete the FAFSA before they graduate from high school so that they can access federal, state, and institutional aid to pay for their education after high school. And this work matters because we know that completing the FAFSA strongly correlates with positive post-secondary outcomes, including increases in enrollment, persistence, and attainment. Research shows that 9 out of 10, or 90% of students who complete the FAFSA enroll in college the following fall. And that's compared to just 55% of FAFSA non-completers. But we also know that students who could benefit from financial aid the most are less likely to apply. So building a college-going campaign that focuses on FAFSA completion as a key component will really help to reduce enrollment and attainment gaps. So we'll take a look at some of our resources, including a flyer, our data dashboard, and the Alabama Commission on Higher Education Student Lookup portal, and then our outreach toolkit folder that's in the Google Drive. And all of these resources will be linked in this PowerPoint presentation that you'll be receiving, so you'll have access to everything. So here's a flyer or a one-pager. It summarizes some of the goals of the campaign and then includes some financial aid facts. And then next we have our Cash for College data dashboard. If you're familiar with Cash for College, you've probably heard a lot about our data dashboard and hopefully you've used it too. So we recognize the importance of setting goals and monitoring your school's progress. On this data dashboard, you're able to access school-wide data. The dashboard's updated weekly throughout the FAFSA cycle, so from October through June. And it's a great way to see how your campaign is progressing. So if you look at the screenshot on the dashboard, there are tabs at the top. The school detail tab pictured in that left-hand screenshot shows you your school's current FAFSA completion percentage compared to your school's FAFSA completion percentage at the exact same time the year before. So it lets you compare year-to-year completion differences really easily and allows you to see if you're on track. You can also see on the pie chart how many applications have been submitted, completed, or are missing from your seniors. And then there's another tab at the top. It's called the by school tab. And on that, you're able to compare schools across the county or across the district. So there are really a lot of ways to look at school-wide data on this tool. But for our next tool, this is how you're going to look at individual student data. So AIC's FAFSA completion project is a student lookup portal, and it lets you again see that individual student data. So once you have a login to the system, you'll be able to see more details. For instance, in that screenshot on the right, you can see whether a FAFSA has been completed, when the application was submitted, whether the student's been selected for verification. And if the student's application isn't completed, you can actually see some of the steps that they have left to take. So if their FAFSA is missing a signature. If you don't have access to this resource, please connect with us so that we can direct you to it. If you're participating in Alabama Goes to College, it's actually required that you utilize the portal. It's just such an incredibly useful tool for intentionally reaching your students. All right, so here's the subfolder for the Cash for College Outreach Toolkit, and it gives you access to general documents, graphics, outreach materials, and social media templates. I just want to say we really want the shared folder to be easy to navigate, so please send us your feedback once you've had a chance to explore. And I'll now turn it over to Christy DeLuca, the 12th grade counselor at Smith Station High School.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about how we have handled working through FAFSA completion. And it's going to look very different this year unless you know, there's a big change. So for the past several years since we've been participating with Alabama Goes to College for FAFSA completion, we have utilized our community college system and brought in some people from the financial aid office to assist us when we are working with our seniors. Our district chose to coincide 10th grade testing dates with this. Fortunately, the past couple of years, it's been very close to the date that FAFSA opens. So we just, during that time while we're testing our 10th grade students, we have our seniors, we map out a schedule with our senior teachers and take them down to computer labs in what we call our career technical building, but it's where we have the most computer labs in like one concentrated area. There's like 6 in a row right there together, just from business tech classrooms and accounting classrooms, things like that. And then we will rotate. Like I usually take one, my career coach takes one, a couple of ladies from the financial aid office at our local community college will take one, and we just walk the students through the process of beginning their FAFSA. I let them know ahead of time, the date, of course, so they can be prepared for it. I shoot out an all call to parents saying, hey, your senior's going to be starting their FAFSA on this date. If you would like to send your information with them so they can complete it during that date, please feel free to do so. Because even though, yes, I have worked with FAFSA before, I am by no means the expert. The ladies that look at it all the time out of the financial aid offices at the college are very proficient. I try to reach out to them over the summer and say, hey, save this date for me. Because, there are lots of high schools in our area. And I'm sure that we're not the only one, that they work with. But we would not be able to do what we do without their assistance, because we have, this year's senior class size is 420. There's just no way for me to sit down and give them the individual attention that they need without, it takes a village. So I am not above reaching out and asking for assistance from people with our, with our community college system. Like I said, and then our career coach within our county is also very helpful with that process. This next year, because we have started out virtually, now we do plan to do a soft opening in September if things, progress like we think they're going to. Right now, I have been told that there will be no visitors or recruiters on campus, obviously for safety reasons. I'm hoping I can kind of gently encourage our board to allow the people from financial aid, if we take precautions, to still be able to come in and assist, or this process is going to take a little bit longer than it normally does for us to get our students started and then completed with the FAFSA process. But we're gonna give it our best effort. I have already started communicating with my seniors via email, Zoom, phone call, because everybody is at home right now. I find that the best way to communicate with them, and I'm sure most schools have some kind of a school email system. My media specialist has been very helpful in helping me to make sure that I have all of the senior class in one link. Just things like that are what has transpired since COVID. We've had kids reach out to us about, how do I complete my FAFSA? I know that, working from home was not ideal, but most students have access to some type of device. It took them a while to get used to sorry, just lost my wording, to the mobile option for FAFSA completion, but they do like that. Most people do file their taxes electronically now, so that's been very helpful to be able to link those two. So that's our plan for this year. We're going to start it virtually or in person. We'll do the same kind of thing. I'll have to come up with a way to work with those students. The toolkit, I think, will be very helpful. in being able to show them some of the slides and things from the FAFSA website. So
Thank you, Christy. Thank you for sharing. Now I would like to invite Dr. Willetta Connor from Alabama State Department of Education to give us an overview on Alabama College Application Week and College and Career Decision Day. Dr. Connor.
Good morning and welcome to everyone at the beginning of the school year. We know that you have a lot of exciting things that are planned and prepared. And also we want to welcome you back this year for those schools that are participating the first time in our Alabama Goes to College with the college application campaign. We're very excited to have you join us this year. And we have some exciting toolkits and strategies that will help you to get through the school year. If you go to the next slide. Thank you, Steve. The next slide. Okay. Just want to give you an overview of the Alabama College Application Campaign. Actually, this is our 9th year. Next year will be our 10th year in existence. The Alabama College Application is a part of the American College Application Campaign, which is a national effort to increase the number of first-generation students and students from low-income families pursuing a college degree or other higher education credential. Alabama College Application Campaign also have tools that are provided through the American College Application Campaign, which we'll talk about in a few. But it provides free technical assistance, and I have sent out some webinars that are coming up this week, and of course some of those that are previous that you can go back and review at your time of leisure, because all of this will help you to increase the number of students who are applying to college, and also helping your students to navigate through the college application process. This year, we are changing our dates, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but the Alabama College Application Campaign goal is to increase the number of first-generation and low-income students, like we stated earlier, but we want to encourage all of our high schools to participate. And I know we had a really good showing last year, over 350 high schools. So we want to reach out to many of those schools that did not participate, and we still want to encourage those students that did participate last year. But our goal is to encourage all high school students to apply to college early in their senior year. Next slide. Okay, just to go over a few other resources, and many of these items are available for you. We have our site coordinator manual, which is provided for you. It's developed to provide you with important information that will help you to go through this process, including information about our timelines. Also, we have some templates there that you'll be able to utilize. Also, we'll talk about the Fee Waiver Schools. We have a flyer, timelines again, and then also we'll look at a link to the Alabama College Application Week outreach. Next slide. Okay, with our 2020 Site Coordinators Manual, the Coordinators Manual is a toolkit, like I said earlier, that you can utilize. And we have the templates there for the state application, but you can utilize this and change it to your particular school, or if you want to use your school logo or your students, whatever you would like to do with this. You do not have to get permission. You already have permission to go in and do as you wish with any of the slides, any of the information that we have there. You do want to cater it to your school, but this site coordinator gives you information about resources, also pre-event activities. There are worksheets there, information about CUDA, because statewide we're all utilizing the CUDA career planning system. Also information about press releases, Ask Me buttons, badges, stickers, student instructions on the day of the event. So we're just going to look at all of that, but you will have time to go through the site coordinators manual and utilize it for your benefit at your school. Next slide. This is a listing of our free Fee Waiver Schools. For the last 4 years, we've had colleges and universities to participate in our fee waiver program, and we're really, really grateful for that. This year, we have changed our college application campaign. We moved it from November to October. This year, college application week will be October the 19th to the 23rd. So it's like the third week of October. Last year, we had about 56 colleges and universities that in-state and out of state participate in our fee waiver program. And then also, we had all of our community colleges, our two-year schools here in the state to participate. So we're really, really grateful to have them to participate again. I have already sent out an invitation inviting all of those schools to participate. And we had a deadline of the end of August 27th. So once I get those confirmation back from those schools, hopefully early September, so you'll have a whole month ahead of time to plan. And that's what our goal is, to try to have this out beginning of September. But you know, it may not work that way. So as soon as I get confirmation with all of the colleges and universities, then we will send that list out. And again, we're grateful to those colleges and universities who have waived their fees that week for our students. Next slide. Okay, also we'll have a flyer, the Alabama College Application Week. That flyer is just giving you information, telling you that the Alabama College Application Campaign is sponsored by the American College Application Campaign and also ACT and the Alabama State Department of Education. So you will get additional information about the college application fees that may be waived during that time. Nationally, students apply to an average of 4 schools and universities. We are asking you to have your students to apply to a 2-year school and also a 4-year school, because many of them will be starting the process, and that right now they may not be clear or sure what school they want to attend, but we want them to apply to more than one school. Also, we want to increase the number of college applications. And we also want our seniors to apply early in their senior year. Next slide. Okay, looking at our site coordinators event timeline, there are some dates in there starting out back in the spring, and some prerequisites, getting information out to your school team. And I know this year is going to look very different because many of you are going to be doing planning virtually, and also planning for in-person, face-to-face, because many of your students will have in-person college fairs. Really, there aren't any in-person college fairs, but Allegro has already sent out information about the 3 college fairs that virtual college fairs that will be scheduled for this year. So I did send that information out in a flyer the other day, but we'll talk more about that. Also, we want you to register your high school for participation. We sent out the link because the sooner we know who's participating, the better we can serve you. Also, print and review the current site coordinators manual from the website. And then you want to make sure that you have all your resources and materials, which you can go to our site coordinator manual and print a lot of those templates with the college I apply buttons, I apply stickers, and also Ask Me. There are also other resources in there that would be very beneficial for your students. But the timeline will kind of help you to plan for that information. Okay, with the outreach toolkit folder, all of this are shared documents in our Google Drive. And for College Application Week, you will have general information that will be available. Also, you will have graphics. You could click there, and the items that I just talked about, you will be able to go there and make copies of a lot of that information. Also, there are outreach materials, and a lot of the same material is available from the American College Application Campaign, which is our national network. And then also social media. We want you to share your events and your activities from College Application Campaign on social media. Next slide. Okay, at this time, we want to introduce Kathy Dean, and she's the high school counselor at Surgeon High School. And Kathy and her school and her staff actually won the 2019 American College Application Campaign School of Excellence Award. So at this time, Kathy, will you come on?
Welcome. Good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. This particular year, our soft opening will start next week. Our students will come in staggered, and then everybody will be here by the end of the week. We did give students the option of going virtual and in face. So I will have seniors that will never come to campus, and then I'll have seniors that'll be here. So that's going to be my challenge this year. And like Ms. DeLuca, we're not allowed to have any field trips or guests on the campus, so it's going to be very hard for us to do all of this because I am not an expert on any of this, like the college counselors are when they come in to help our students. So I really appreciate their work. So I feel like this year will be a little more stressful, but we're just going to take it one day at a time. So some of the things that I will continue to do as I did last year, I purchased a banner the first year I joined Alabama Made Possible, and I put it out in front of my school so that everybody knows that this is the week that we're going to apply for colleges. But because of COVID, Troy University has already sent out a free waiver code, so some of my students have already started applying and being accepted already before they've ever even made it onto my campus. So my seniors are getting the word out, and the things that I'm using to help encourage them is Remind. I have a group senior email. We have a guidance Facebook page, and then we have a Google Meet. So those are the resources I'm using to reach them. They are required to apply to 5 colleges: their dream school, their safe school, a junior college, a mid-school, high school, and an out-of-state college. And what I'm doing to be able to track this year is I've created Google Classrooms for all of my grade levels. I'm in charge of 7 through 12, but I don't have 400 seniors, so I can't imagine what you're dealing with. I only have 49, so thank God. So what they're doing is when they apply to a school, they take a screenshot of that and upload it, and then I grade it like it's 100 if they do it. It's just like a check mark. They're not really getting a grade. But because of the way Google Classroom is set up, it does like a little spreadsheet, and I can see who has and who hasn't without writing names down and saying, oh, this one hasn't done it. So it's kind of making me better organized because the Google Classroom is organizing it for me. So I'm not constantly hunting kids down, and I can just click beside their names which ones I need to send an email to that hasn't applied to school or hasn't uploaded that they got accepted. And so that's one way that COVID has changed me, and I might keep that going like that. We'll see how it goes at the end of the year. I also, we put posters out beside each of the teachers' rooms stating what college that they went to, so the students are encouraged to ask them about their college experience, where they went, what they majored in, what was their favorite part about college. If you could do it over, what would you do differently? Those are the kinds of questions we encourage during that week between the staff and the students. The teachers wear the button that says, ask me about my college. The students, when they apply to school, they get a button, and they always put them on their backpacks, so they wear them on their backpacks the rest of the year. We have a tailgate party, and this I'll have to probably beg to be able to do that this year, where our local bank comes in and feeds all of our students pizza and drinks and plays music, and they have their little pom-poms, and everybody wears their college t-shirts that they either got accepted to or their favorite college. I've also this year going to give the ASVAB during that week for my juniors to get them looking towards their future, and I require all juniors take it, and then any senior that wants to retake it that is really considering the military but have not gotten the score that they want. So my seniors can retake it at that time. I'm also going to give the work keys to all of the seniors that week of college application week, and then based on their score, let them know you're college and career ready and you're able to get a job based on your scores. We also do another push for FAFSA during that week to see who hasn't done it or who hasn't completed it. A lot of times it's that signature page. And when I can't get the parents in to get that signature page signed, we've got everything else done. What I've done in the past is I've printed that page off for the students that week and let them take it home, get their parents signed. I give them a stamped envelope with a complete address on there, and the parents sign it and send it off, and then that usually takes care of that. We also do Zoom meetings. I'm working with the University of Alabama has a program called Vision Days, and if none of you are working with them, I would reach out to them. And what they're doing is they're taking my students from the 9th grade to the 12th grade and kind of indoctrinating them into that college-going culture. They will, they're taking the 9th grade and they show them what college life is like, kind of give them a tour. But this year they're going to Zoom in with me, with my 9th graders in the library, and the 9th graders will have their computers open and they will research different topics like what kind of majors can you get at the University of Alabama, different things like that, and then work them towards the senior class, which they will go more in depth with financial aid, scholarships, room and board, fees, and things like that. So I really like that program because we try to get everybody involved in the whole campus, something for everybody that week. We are a K-12 school, so even our elementary teachers and students wear their college favorite t-shirts that week and jeans, just trying to promote college awareness and college going. I hope it works this week, and I wish all of you good luck.
Is this me?
Okay, congratulations again to Kathy and her administration. The picture that you seen earlier was her principal, her superintendent, and her high school curriculum person. So thank you for doing a great job. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about College and Career Decision Day. Even though that's at the end of the year, the College and Career Decision Day celebrates students commuting to pursue their education past high school, whether to attain a 2-year degree, 4-year degree, a certificate, or an industry recognized credential, entering the military, or pursuing a skilled trade. Remember, with College Decision Day, that is a celebration of everything that our students are planning for their future. This is what they have decided to do life after high school. There are a variety of resources that are available for that. Better Make Room, Tools to Start College Journey, also College Signing Day Toolkit, and all of this is through the American College Application Campaign as well. Getting involved, Decision Day Flyer, we'll talk about Decision Day Guide, and also celebration strategies, and then you will have a link to the Alabama College and Career Decision Day outreach. Tools to Start, you have a financial aid shopping sheet, and that gives you a lot of information. Remember, all 3 of these initiatives fall in line with the Cash for College, which is the financial aid piece. And then you have your college calculator, making sure that you know what is available as far as financial aid, college application, the actual process of completing the application, and then the College Signing Day, which is the celebration. So those are some of the tools to start with. Also, there's a toolkit that is available that has a link to the signing day, registering for the event, how you could get involved, what is available. And I know this past year, everything had to be virtual. There was not a lot of face-to-face, but many of you had some very innovative ideas where you did the drive-through signing day, and then you posted videos of your students, your senior classes for this past year, 2020. So we had a lot of really, really good participation, but these are some of the ways that you could get involved. There is a flyer with the College and Career Decision Day. And remember, even though the date was set for May the 1st, we did a College and Career Week. So we celebrated all the way through the beginning of May through June, and some of us are still celebrating. So it's never too late because, like we said, with everything, school being shut down and everything had to go virtual, we still want to make sure that our students know that we're here to support them. And also there is an event guide here where you can sign in and put your information on your particular school, when you're planning your activities, the number of people invited, and also using the various hashtags. So we have a variety of information here, celebration strategies that we used this past year. Have your seniors to wear the college t-shirts, also decorate the mailboxes, the doors, the windows. All of this also ties into college application week, and also ask your seniors to post to the social media so that we could get the word out, inviting people in their community to celebrate their senior success, and also posting on social media. And I've seen a lot of really, really good innovative ideas this past year, and we know that we will have that same participation again this year, because we want to involve everybody, our parents, our educators, people in the community, our colleagues, all of our students, and not just your seniors. You're celebrating all of your students, but your seniors are especially the ones who are going out and beginning their life after high school. So all of these are just some really good strategies to help us to prepare for those events. Even though it's coming up in May, this is not too early to get started in preparing. Next slide. Okay, also in our outreach toolkit for College and Career Signing Day, we will have social media, a link to the social media so students will know, and also you and your staff at your schools will be able to post to social media. Also, there's a link for outreach to get additional information if needed. And then also you will have the graphics that will help you to get many of the tools and resources that you need for your events. Next slide. Okay, now we will have Amy Smith with the College and Career Counselor. And Amy is a counselor at Pell City High School.
Hi, everyone. I know it's good to see everybody, even if it is virtually. I have what I consider to be a large senior class, but it does not. It pales in comparison to Christy's class. I have about 280 seniors, and I thought that was large until I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to break out in hives hearing her talk about how many seniors she has. So we start back, our kids come back Friday. Very nerve-wracking experiences I'm sure all of you guys are faced with. We did have the option to go virtual, and more of our seniors went virtual than any of the other grades, and we are doing a hybrid model. So it should be, we've already had to shut down one of our elementary schools before the kids even came back because of an outbreak. So it should be a very interesting year for all of us. Willetta just about covered everything that I was going to talk about because she does a great job with the celebration day. But I was just going to tell a couple of the things that we've expanded on throughout the course of the past couple of years. One of the things that we expanded our focus from just college, but we do what's called a triple E, which is employ, enlist, and enroll. So we try to really recognize all of our students and not just the ones that are going to a traditional four-year college, but try to make sure that those that are going to community colleges or those that are going to get credentials are equally as important and recognized, because we all know that some of those majors are going to be Alabama's workforce. So Alabama Possible has been so important for me to work with as far as resources. So just, I think what we all can do is not only to encourage our students, but to encourage counselors at other schools to see what kind of resources are available for them, because we've got to get past, you know, these are my kids and your kids, but these are all of our kids. And we really need to eliminate any barrier that we can find for all kids if we are going to move Alabama forward, which I feel like is all of our main goal. A program that we're using this year, and I'm just going to mention this before I talk about our celebrations, is called SCORE, and it's spelled SCOIR, and it's free during COVID. So that's one of the things that I can say is a positive. positive about COVID, if there's anything, is that they have alleviated fees associated with different programs. And this program allows you to communicate with seniors. It allows you to electronically send transcripts. It's just a great resource. And we've just now gotten it up and rolled out to my senior population. Last year, we had to get real creative. In the past, we've had major events where we invite parents to come up and we recognize our students that are going into the military, the students that are going to be employed. We have their employers come up and we just have a big celebration. So last year we had to get real creative and we had to do it all virtually. And I don't know what this year is going to look like, but we're going to have to get very creative in getting people to come in virtually to assist us because of just the restraints that are placed on us. We're going to have to get real creative. But one of the things that I did last year was I reached out to our photographers that do our senior portraits, and I got a disc so that I had a portrait of all of my seniors. So with just a little bit of work, I could go out and find a college logo or a military logo or an employment logo. So I would upload to just a simple PowerPoint their picture, the student's picture, and where they were going to work or where they were going to college, and just blasting that out, utilizing civic organizations, social media, local radio stations. Of course, this year, our students that are there, just playing it, anywhere we can play it, anywhere we have a screen, asking teachers to play it in the classroom, because you never know when that student might see a senior and might be inspired to say, hey, if he can do it, I can do it too. Just creating that college going culture that, I can do whatever it is that I set my mind to, mentality with our students, just making them feel important that, just because I'm going to a community college doesn't mean that I'm less important than one of my seniors that's got a full ride to Georgia Tech. Just recognizing them. We know that students like to see their faces, because just think about selfies and how big they are in our society. So just anywhere that we can play this and roll this out to parents and students and show that it is a celebration. When we did have students, when we had our honors day and we had all of our student body in the gym together, we would have them make signs and they would walk across the stage and hold up their signs and cheer for them and just have a big celebration. And hopefully we'll be able to do that this year. But those are some of the things that we do just to show not only our seniors, but our whole student body how important it is for them to have future goals. That concludes my part.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Thank you for sharing. And thank you all the counselors for sharing your experience. So right now I'm going to chat, send the link for you to get your professional development credit on chat. So make sure you'll copy that link and later on you can complete it. And so you can get the credit for this, attending this session. So I would like to invite Keela Lawrence from Alabama Possible to facilitate the question and answer session.
Yeah, thank you so much, Renita. So I am Keela Lawrence. I serve as the College Transition Peer Advisor at Alabama Possible. And we're just going to jump right into the question and answers. We have a couple of them lined up, but if you have any last minute questions, feel free to post them in the chat. So our first question, this can go more towards Kathy, because we had a lot of questions about the program that you were talking about that's associated with the University of Alabama. Can you talk a bit about more about that program and some information and where they can find it?
Yes, ma'am. It's called Vision Days, and you can follow it on Facebook and probably Google it, and it'll come up, the University of Alabama. The lady that is in charge of that, her name is Danielle, and I'm going to spell the last name because I'll probably butcher it, Susnara. And they are great resources on every event. In the past, we got to take tours, and they did everything different for each grade level, kind of just small introduction pieces from the 9th grade to the 12th grade. Of course, this year we've set up a Vision Day where like they went to the local park here in our local town, and they set up all the tables where the seniors could go and get information from the different colleges and financial aid, and they had music and free food. Of course, that always gets kids out, and gave them free little gifts. And so that was a fun event that they did after hours so that it wouldn't look like I was promoting something at my school. So I just promoted you could go if you want to, and then my seniors showed up and I showed up. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to put the students in the library, and we're going to have a great big screen interactive TV, and she's going to come in on the Zoom with the different departments and talk about admissions and scholarships and walk those seniors through the process, and then give them some hands-on things to do on their computer while they're sitting there to do some research, and then go back to talking on the Zoom. And then she's going to record some things for me to be able to go into the classroom and play. But of course, it's all geared to the University of Alabama, but some of those same things you can use at the other universities. But she's a great resource. She has different high school counselors on her little advisory committee, and I can't speak volumes enough about how great it is for kids, getting them interested in that 9th grade and working towards that. And I want to say we also do a 9th grade commitment to graduate. So that kind of gets the kids talking as well. Of course, this year I'll do it virtually. We have a big banner that all the kids sign in the 9th grade that they're committing themselves to graduate in the 9th grade, in the 12th grade, and then we give them a certificate with their name on it. And that may be the only certificate they ever get, but it's encouragement that they put their faith in our school system, and we're putting our faith in them to get them towards graduation. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, you did. I hope everyone was taking notes, because you did provide a lot of information. Our next question is going to be, how do you help those students who don't have contact with their parents, especially when it comes to their FAFSA, because we know the students have to have their parents' information. If you all look in the chat, May Whiting did direct a link that directly answers that question from the FSA website. So if you want to click on that link and save that question for later so you can get more information from the Federal Student Aid. Our next question is, how can I get my school included on the dashboard?
Yeah, I'll take that. And I hadn't put the link to all the attendees, so I'll go ahead and put that link now so that everyone can view it to the FSA website. But in terms of the dashboard, I'm assuming you mean the AICS dashboard, which is for the individual student data. And that you need an actual login to be able to access. So if you don't have that login yet, then I will connect you to the appropriate people at AIC. But if you're referring to our Cash for College data dashboard, that is available to the public. It doesn't require a login, and you can already see all of your school-wide information. So feel free to follow up with me by email if you need access to AICS portal. I'll go ahead and type my email into the chat along with the FSA website.
Okay, so also, next question, can you tell us again how to access the Google Drive?
We will send all of you a link to the shared Google Drive, and you will get that link along with this presentation.
All right, so that looks like the last question. I will address the question that was asked in the chat box and answered in the chat box, but College and Career Decision Day is going to be usually celebrated on May 1st, but we're encouraging on or around May 1st. And does anybody have any last minute questions before we move on? All right, well, we're going to move on. So as we mentioned earlier, in the Google Drive for the toolkit, there is a fillable calendar. So we just have some save the dates that you may want to put in there. Our next professional development webinar is going to be September 9th. It's going to be very similar to this one, but we will have more assets and more things in our toolkit. And we're also going to have breakout rooms. So you're going to get to interact with other counselors, get some ideas from them, and you'll get more feedback along the way. We also have some virtual career fairs that will be hosted by the Alabama Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers. So that's going to be September 17th, October 20th, and November 17th. We also have Why Apply Day, which is September 18th. Our FAFSA opens on October 1st. We have Alabama College Application Week. Willetta mentioned this one earlier, October 19th through the 23rd. And then we have College and Career Day on May 1st. So remember that the calendar, you're going to download it first, and then you can add the different dates that you want to add to it. I'm going to go to the next. So
Also,
we have,
May, if you go back to the college fairs, I have sent out a flyer giving them the times on those dates. They have 2 scheduled times on the September the 17th, October 20th, and also October the 17th. So if they would like more information about that, I could send that out again, but there are 2 different times on each one of those dates. And then there also an email that I sent out to all the counselors to go on and get information to register for the college reps. So that information went out in an email.
okay. Thank you so much, Willetta. So next we have a webinar survey. I just posted it in our chat. We would love your feedback, especially we want to know how we can do better, especially, like I said, our next professional development webinar is September 9th. We want to improve from there, especially if we'll see you again. So if you will please fill out that webinar. And next slide. So with our new branding, we do have a different way to contact us. Now our email is Alabama, well, AL goes to college at alabamapossible.org. And then you can also reach the Alabama Goes to College Help Desk at 334-316-6155. And in closing, from the Alabama Possible team, we just want to say thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here and unlock the journey for your 12th graders. We know this is for you, the session is for you, but it's really for your students, and now more than ever during this unprecedented time, they need you, and we just thank you for being a resource for them and just learning and gaining knowledge to help them on their journey to college. So thank you again, and you all have a great rest of your day.